Hello everyone, it's Anthony Hebel, AQ Blaze 91 again for another one of those games I bought monthly videos, and I apologize there was no games I bought May 2024 episode because I only bought one game for all of May, and because I decided to just save up money for all of May, and yeah, I only bought one game on May, and I thought, yeah, just dedicating a whole episode to May would not have been great. But I decided that I should just put it for June. Put it in with the whole of everything I bought in June 2024 as well, so it saves me. So it saves me trouble, and just thought I'd do it this way. So here we go. This is going to be a special games I bought video for games I bought throughout May and the games I bought throughout June 2024. And I'll give my thoughts and opinions on the game announcements that were throughout June 2024 as well, as I've been watching the game conferences of 2024. And we've had some decent conferences, some good ones, also some bad ones, but I mainly watched all the PlayStation, Xbox, PC gaming and Nintendo conferences. So yeah, so without further ado, let's get started on the games I bought throughout May and June 2024. So first of all, I'm going to start with what I bought throughout May. So, and I only bought one Game Boy Advance game, and that is Doom 2. This is the GBA version of Doom 2. I bought Doom 1 a long time ago for the GBA. This is Doom 2 on the GBA. And it is a handheld adaptation of the PC game, and it's a very good port of Doom 2 put onto the Game Boy Advance, when it has the levels and gameplay of Doom 2, with the brightness contrast upwards, much brighter than it was on the PC, because obviously the the original Game Boy being dark to see, and it does have some alterations to it, such as the green blood instead of the red blood. Yeah, but still, it's a great version of Doom 2, and I really do enjoy the Doom 2 port. Very great. It's very great. And it is, and yeah, it is what it is. It's on Game Boy Advance. It does have frame rate problems, but it's on Game Boy. But so it's what you would expect from converting a PC game into a Game Boy Advance cartridge. So good stuff. It's a good port. And now that's all I bought throughout May. And now we're going to move on to June, in which I bought one Game Boy original Game Boy game, one Game Boy Color game, and two Game Boy Advance games. So I've had quite a Game Boy haul this month, and I plan to continue it for a while. So we're gonna start with the Game Boy stuff. So the first of the Game Boys is Game Boy Gallery, 5 games in 1. This is a Game Boy cartridge where it has 5 games that were based on the Game & Watch games, such as the Game Boy Game & Watch Ball, this one, this one, this one, and this one, that were all Game & Watch games. And this is a simple, and it's a 5-in-1 game cartridge featuring all of those. And I got this for £3, so it's a pretty good bargain for all of this in cartridge only form. Yep, and I enjoy it. And this is, yeah, but it's a simple collector's item, not bad. And I also got, for the Game Boy Color, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. This is the Game Boy Color version of the first ever Harry Potter film, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. And the game adaptation is different for each different platform depending on the console you're playing. The console versions were 3D action adventure explorative games, whereas the Game Boy Color is a turn-based role-playing game, which you wouldn't believe. It's a turn-based role-playing game with RPG elements to it, such as you're leveling up, such as you're getting into random encounters with enemies, and you fight enemies with different spells. And your spells actually level up, and you gain some new spells and all that. And you do fight bosses from the film, such as the troll who appeared in the the girls' bathroom to attack Hermione. And also at the end of the game, you face off against he who shall not be mentioned. Yeah, just for I figure I say it. And it's a pretty good and it's a really good RPG for the Game Boy Color. So for those who like Harry Potter and for those who like RPGs, it's really a good one to have. It's the most basic one of all because you only play as Harry Potter. The second one, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets on Game Boy Color, and also Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban on the Game Boy Advance, would follow the formula of this one, but they never made any more Harry Potter RPGs of that style, which is kind of a shame. But still, this is a good one, and I picked this one up for £6, and it's not a bad bargain for it, for what it's worth. Alright, then we got 2 Game Boy Advance games, and the first one of the Game Boy Advance I picked up is Banjo Pilot. Banjo Pilot is a racing game with Mode 7 3D graphics, and with Banjo-Kazooie characters, and it's a similar game to Diddy Kong Racing, in which originally it was planned to be a Diddy Kong Racing sequel, and then it became a Banjo-Kazooie game in a form of a racing game on planes. Yeah, there's a story on it. I don't remember the full story, why it was changed or why they changed a lot of aspects of it. And I've only played it for like 10 minutes. It's a good racing game. If you like the Diddy Kong Racing, Mario Kart-esque racing games, yeah, you'll like Banjo Pilot. It's a really good one, and you picked it up for very cheap as well. Yeah, good stuff as well. And the last Game Boy Advance game I picked up is Breath of Fire 2. the Game Boy Advance version of a Super Nintendo role-playing game, which I used to play back then when I bought the Wii Virtual Console version. And because I started getting into RPGs on the Super Nintendo, I actually found the Virtual Console version of Breath of Fire 2 that emulated the Super Nintendo version, and I actually really enjoyed that one. Where it's the sequel, Breath of Fire 2, is really good, an amazing turn-based role-playing game where you have different characters that are very in-depth. Really good characters, got fantastic storyline involving gods, gods and a dragon race breed or whatever. I can't remember much of Breath of Fire 2's story, but it's a really good storyline. I actually really enjoyed playing Breath of Fire 2 back in the day. And this Game Boy Advance version is very faithful to the Super Nintendo game. Has differences, like it not sounding anywhere near as good as the Super Nintendo version is, considering that the Game Boy Advance doesn't necessarily have the best sound quality, but it does have quality of life features over the Super Nintendo one, such as showing what equipment is stronger or weaker in shops, and you being able to dash around on the map, which you couldn't in the SNES original. And yeah, it's a good port. And also another thing as well, you can obviously tell, is the logo is different as well. And the new intro looks really dope as well. Really like the new intro. The flame going around in the background is actually really nice. I'm looking to look around and get the other Breath of Fire games. I have Breath of Fire 3, I have Breath of Fire 4, in which for Breath of Fire 3 I have the PSP version, which I did show in one of my Games of Bought episodes. And I did get Breath of Fire 4 a couple of months back. And now all I need now is Breath of Fire 1 for the Game Boy Advance, in which I know there's a Game Boy Advance version of Breath of Fire 1, which for the UK, it was the first ever time that we actually ever got the first Breath of Fire game, considering the original Super Nintendo version was never released in Europe until it was put onto the Virtual Console on the 3DS and the Wii U. So yeah, just thought I'd mention it. So, and I'm very happy with this Game Boy Advance version of Breath of Fire 2. Can't wait to look. I hope that one day I see Breath of Fire 1, and then if I do, I'll be sure to grab that if I can. So that is all the games I bought, but I also do have a DVD, also a Blu-ray and DVD combo, in which it is Tales of Vesperia: The First Strike. This is a film that takes place before the events of the Tales of Vesperia movie. I just happened to have seen this today, and I figured, yeah, I might as well buy it. So cheap, £6 for the Blu-ray and DVD versions of Tales of Vesperia: The First Strike film, and it's a good film, all things considered. Considering it's very 100% faithful to Tales of Vesperia and Vesperia, it's true to the material, and it has pretty much the characters, at least most of them, and acts as sort of like, and it acts as a prequel and a backstory to Yuri and Flynn, from which Yuri was in the Knights before he left to do his own thing. And you actually see what happened with him during his time with the Knights. And it's a really good backstory film that shows his time there in the Knights, and the amount of the characters you would eventually see in the actual game. And so, like, it has Estelle, it has Rita, it has Raven, who Yuri would eventually meet in the actual game. It has some good fights, but you don't see as many art usage as it was in the actual game. But oh well, but still, fantastic film. I really enjoy it, and it has the English dub acting of Troy Baker as well, and the same guy doing the voice for Flynn as well, like he did in the game as well. And so it's a really good, fantastic film. And Tales of Vesperia is still an excellent game as well. And I still love Tales of Vesperia because I got the Xbox 360 game, which was one of the reasons I got the Xbox 360. Only for me to get the definitive edition on the PlayStation 4, which included all the additional content that was only in Japan on the PlayStation 3, and as well as that, I've also got the regular DVD version of the Tales of Vesperia: The First Strike. So, good stuff. I actually really enjoyed Tales of Vesperia a lot. So, with all of this, that is all of the stuff that I got throughout all of May and June of 2024. Now then, I'm going to talk about the game conferences that I've been watching this month. Throughout all of June, I saw all of the game conferences of, the E3 time. And yeah, I saw the PlayStation one, I saw the Xbox conference, I saw the Nintendo conference, the PC gaming conference. Yeah, where they're showcasing all the new game announcements that were being made. And yeah, I did enjoy mostly the Xbox and the Nintendo Direct conferences, whereas the PlayStation conference was garbage. Like, the PlayStation conference that they had was so disappointing. Like, no word on like anything involving the new PlayStation Pro. No announcements for any of the previous games that they announced. Just a bunch of weak, empty trailers and weekend debuts and 2 PC ports of Until Dawn and this other game, God of War Ragnarok. Yeah, which we're all gonna need PlayStation IDs if we're gonna play them on PC. Yeah, which everybody got all pissed about. And the only thing I only liked about the PlayStation Direct was the announcement of Astro Bot for the PS5. That was the only thing I liked about that Direct. And otherwise, yeah, it was just a lame Direct, really. Because, like, what was shown on that PlayStation Direct? There was a Dynasty Warriors game that wasn't good. There was Oh, there was one other game that was not great. There was this or that other game didn't look interesting. Yeah, like there was just so many there were so many games on there that were just not interesting, and yeah, they did a full shot of a new hero FPS game, Concord. I think that was another game that was announced, and yeah, it didn't look impressive either. Like I wasn't interested either on that one. Yeah, so that PlayStation State of Play was just uninteresting. Yeah. Then I watched the Xbox Direct, which was actually good. Even though the announcement for Fable wasn't great, it had some games that I did care. Like the one for the new Perfect Dark that was being worked on by the Initiative looked really interesting. I was really keen to see where they take the new Perfect Dark on. That looked interesting, and the new Gears game actually looked promising, and some of the other games that they had announced on the Xbox panel actually did have games that people wanted. Yeah, if they wanted a new State of Decay 3, yeah, they no doubt want that. Yeah, that one was good. Really, that one was really good. Then and then I watched the PC gaming show, and yeah, there weren't that really good announcements for it. Just a lot of games that were already announced during the Summer Game Fest. Which also, yeah, I forgot to mention, the Summer Game Fest also came on as well, and I did like one or two announcements on there. Yeah, so it wasn't too bad of a gaming showcase. And so it was fun, and so that one was fine. And yeah, getting back on track, the PC gaming show, yeah, it wasn't great, but it may have had like one or two games I think thought were alright. I thought were great, but then Nintendo finally stepped in, and they unleashed a direct that had a game announcement that was for everyone. In the very first game announcement they threw in, Mario Luigi Brothership. Holy hell, Nintendo knew they had a direct that was for everybody. Not only that game, but they also had the Dragon Quest 2D HD remakes of the first three games. Yeah, which looked really good. Even though it's the same first three Dragon Quest games we've already played back on the Switch and maybe on the iOS. For Europe, which I know Americans have already played Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 already, like a billion times by now. Still, Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 in 2D HD visuals, done like the same style as Octopath Traveler. Yeah, I think that's gonna be a dope remake. And what else got announced? Marvel vs. Capcom Collection, the Ace Attorney Investigations announcement. Everybody was just really screaming for that. For those. The new Phantom Line game looked interesting from Mistwalker. Then there was other games. I'm trying to remember now. There was the Nintendo 64 Game Boy Advance additions to the collection, where they brought in Metroid Zero Mission and Zelda Minish Cap. Was it Minish Cap? No, Zelda Link to the Past Four Swords edition on Game Boy Advance. That's it. Now I remember. And then they finally announced Perfect Fucking Dark, the Nintendo 64 game on the Switch Online. Which, even though I know that the version we got, the version of it is terrible, they are going to eventually fix it. Like, they'll patch it up and fix the problems that are with it. But I'm glad and I'm happy that we got Perfect Dark now on the N64 on the Switch. Because if GoldenEye made it to the Switch, so can Perfect Dark. Like, it was inevitable. I knew it was coming. And alongside that, they launched the Nintendo 64 Mature side, where they're gonna put all the mature rated Nintendo 64 games in their mature line, which means that inevitably they'll put Conker's Bad Fur Day on there, and alongside that, the other Turok games on there. Because they announced Turok 1 for whatever reason on there, even though there's already the version of there's the remaster of Turok 1 that's already done by Night Dive, which is the best way to play Turok 1, considering that Turok 1, Turok 2 and Turok 3 have all been remastered by Night Dive, which have quality of life improvements. The games run smoother and the games run fantastically well, and I've gotten all the remasters myself. So I think they should have put Turok Rage Wars on there instead, which is the 4-player multiplayer focused Turok game. I think that would have been a better choice to have on there. But I hope they do. But I hope Nintendo ups the game in terms of the classic retro games, because they did start taking down what was it? ROM sharing and emulation. They started taking down ROMs of their games from emulation websites, because they attacked Fame.net, a popular ROM sharing website. Recently, I've heard. You can check it up on the You can check that on the gaming news forums if you can. In which case, I'm proud of Nintendo for finally stepping up on that. But they need now to step up their the games on the Switch Online service. I hope they continue to add more games onto it. And what other games they announced? They announced a game. They announced an RPG that's like that's from the same creators of the Danganronpa series. They had some other games that were good. Farm Simulator or 2. Oh yeah, that Mistwalker game, I remember it now. It was Fantasian Near Dimension. Yeah, it wasn't Phantom Line. It was Fantasian Near Dimension. That's it now, I remember. And then there was versions of Donkey Kong Country Returns. There was an update for Neo Switch Sports, for anyone who cares about that game. There was a Romancing Saga 2 remake. Yeah, they were all the announcements were good. But to top everything all off, there was the announcement of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, which everybody was so hyped up for. Everybody spent years hyping that game up for a long time. So yeah, they showed off a new trailer video for it, and it looked really cool. And whilst everybody is saying that it could be a Switch 2 game, yeah, the fact that they've announced it speaks for itself, because everybody wouldn't shut the hell up about it. So we finally got word on it. So that's great. So Nintendo definitely got the winning direct here, and I wrote a blog about it. Did I watch the Limited Games Run direct as well, where it too had some interesting classic games on there. The one for Fear Effect, the one for Tomba 2, which was actually Tombi 2 in UK. Tombi 1 and 2 finally coming to the new consoles, and of course the game I'm hyped up for of the Limited Games Run showcase was Clock Tower Rewind, which was a game I played on emulators, and it was a really good survival horror game being done on the Super Nintendo. And all the new content they're going to do for it is actually pretty impressive. I'm actually looking forward to that one. So yeah, there's that. So I've been watching all those directs, and there were some good announcements, some bad announcements, yeah. So yeah, it was good, but Nintendo definitely got the winning direct so far. Again, like, Nintendo knows exactly what to announce. They don't mess around. So good on Nintendo. So yeah, this is gonna do for this games I bought video. I have got Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection videos coming up. Most notably the instant action bot match clips of Star Wars Battlefront 2. And once they're up, there will be one clip of the online multiplayer, showcasing how bad the online multiplayer is for Star Wars Battlefront 2 in the Star Wars Battlefront's Classic Collection. And then I'll have some videos also for another game that I've played recently, Troopers, which you'll see 3 clips for the regular game and 1 clip of the shooting range. And after that, I'm going to take a break from FPSs for a while and want to do a RPG next, in which the RPG I'm going to be returning to is Tales of Symphonia Remastered. I'm going back to the Tales of Symphonia Remaster because I left it absent for a while, and I want to go back to Tales of Symphonia and continue playing that again. And for my progress on that is I've just gone out of the of the Silveron base and about to head back into Triet after reuniting with Colette, Kronos and Genis. So yeah, that's where I'm going to be. So that's going to be where I'm going to be focusing on too. And as for reviews, I am going to be doing a review on the on this sometime. I am going to eventually start working on a review on my Hori FPS controller because I've been playing with this for quite a long time, and I think I'm ready to deliver my final verdict on it. So that's going to be worked on my GameSpot channel. So yeah, this is going to do for it for this Games I Bought video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Give it a comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye!